Hannity had a guy on that said, "I fathered 20 kids by 14 mothers." That is a cultural issue which has demeaned our society and has caused our society dearly in terms of imprisonment. Who's going to be the fathers to those children? Who's going to pay child support? The United Nations Children's Fund reports that more than 18 million children worldwide have lost both parents to the ravages of AIDS, starvation, war, or natural disasters. Success should stem from entrepreneurial creativity, not political connectivity. I want to make sure the people we elect to office believe in America. I'm not the hands-on guy. I like writing the check, and I turn it over to the guys that make it happen, much like the way I ran my business. You don't want to put all your lead on the target. You want to leave some arrows in the quiver. The collusion of big business, big labor, and big government threaten the spirit of small business that makes America great. I think culture precedes politics, and I think the attempts to try and legislate people's behavior isn't going to be productive until the culture decides what they want to achieve. I think of all the guys that strap a gun on their backs and head to Afghanistan and Iraq to keep us free and safe and maintain what America has stood for. I've said before, the number one thing that we have to work on is protecting the gay community from Sharia law. Now, in the United States, it's probably not a big issue right now. But my brother-in-law is gay, and his partner, and I would like them to be able to travel any place in the world without them risking harm. I think it's unfair that people can't give assets to whoever they want. When I die, my assets can go to my wife. And a gay person, you ought to have a system where maybe you can just say, you can give your assets to anybody you want. If we really want to cherish religious freedom, people who want to believe that same-sex marriage should take place, they have a right to believe that. And people who want to believe it's inappropriate, we should not demonize those people if we really believe in religious liberty. People asked, "So what are you, a multimillionaire?" I like to say, a billionaire wannabe. All of us grow. If we don't change our culture, the politics is going to migrate more and more to statism. What people love about Santorum is he is who is he. He speaks his words. He loves God. He loves his country, and he loves gays. It's so sad to see how few people in the Obama administration have any private sector experience. President Obama's over in Indonesia when guys like me were at a paper route. President Obama, I don't know what experience he had at that same age when he was in Indonesia. So I think it's hard for him to grasp that America entrepreneurial spirit. I allowed Rick Santorum to express views and ideas that the American people never would have had expressed. On the national security front, Rick Santorum is superior to any candidate I know. Whether it is a super PAC or not, I have been blessed with wealth, and I think I have responsibility to use it properly. I very, very much want to be involved in helping those senators, congressmen, and women who support the principles that made America great. I have 4 kids. They are 2 years apart, and contraception has been very, very good to me. Rick Santorum has so much potential and so much eagerness to serve our country. In America, we have this bell curve of certain values. And then we have another bell curve of different values, which is the Republican Party. And they're out of sync right now. In certain states, if a woman makes $12,000 a year and lives with her $250,000 boyfriend and they don't get married, as long as they don't get married, she gets maybe $20,000 or $30,000 in pre-tax benefits in terms of food, stamps, health care, and housing allowance. Santorum is the greatest person on the face of the planet as far as I'm concerned. The press called me a billionaire, and my wife came up and said I must be squirreling money away. I have no control over the super PAC, all I do is write the check. I'm not a big fan of the high-altitude approach of mega TV ads. I love Romney. It is not his fault that he is the son of a successful governor and makes $20 million a year. Rick Santorum is the grandson of a coal miner. His dad was the manager of a VA hospital. If you look at Republicans, they always run these old war horses. Do you honestly think that if Senator Santorum becomes president, we're going to get rid of contraceptives? I am absolutely stunned how the Democrats were able to somehow say that the Republicans had a war on women. What was the war on women? How hard have those intolerant of John Adams's perspective worked to strip from young people any hope of knowing the concepts and truths that help deal with life? I think we should be encouraged to learn from Columbine and let it be a battle cry for all of us. There's a group of people, maybe the secular Taliban is a good name for them, who have morphed this idea that you have to accept my values being every bit as cherished as your values. That's not tolerance. There are too many things in this world which we sit back and tolerate. I did one of those born-again things and invited Jesus to become the chairman of the board of my life. We don't have a war on terror, that's a technique. We didn't have a war on blitzkriegs, and we didn't have a war on surprise attacks. Do we really want Washington administrators coming between us and our doctors? You might not be able to control your circumstances, but you can control your response to your circumstances. I think the thing I'd like to do is just educate the people to some of the travesties they can end. The McCain-Feingold limit on how much you give a candidate didn't really work, because people found ways to get around it. In the old days, money controlled politics. Today, information controls politics. So I think with the advent of the internet, the power of wealth has been diminished. Look up all the people you know who spent millions and millions of dollars and fell short. Life is just so much fun and so filled with humor. What do wealthy people do with their money? They can only buy so many cars, houses, and steak dinners. So we either give it away or invest it. What the supposed 99% don't realize is that they are better off if there are more fat cats, not less. Go to Cleveland Clinic, Mayo Clinic, or any college and you'll see libraries, dormitories, and a lot of buildings that were a result of the generosity of fat cats. Amazon's Jeff Bezos, Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, and Steve Jobs did not start out wealthy, and actually added to income inequality, but we all benefit from their creative effort. Wealth is the ultimate panacea to poverty. It can be tough to find areas where left and right can agree. Consider the well-being of children. Americans often disagree about how to raise kids, how to educate them, even what to feed them. Every child should at least grow up in family rather than without one. Would-be adoptive parents have to struggle for years through a bureaucratic obstacle course at an average cost of $30,000.